Hi everybody, today I want to show you something about the HiFiMan HE1000 stealth version. So, there was a little bit of confusion going on because HiFiMan did change this headphone a few times in small iterations. So, we have different naming conventions, and therefore I asked HiFiMan itself to give me a little bit of a confirmation on which different iterations there are, how they are called, so you can see it here. So this one here is actually HiFiMan 1000 Stealth. So it is the newest version of the HiFiMan 1000. And yeah, with this out of the way and cleared up, let's come to the headphones itself. It is an open back planar magnetic headphone that has the stealth magnets and the Neo Super Nano diaphragm in here. So it costs around 1,200 to 1,300 euros, depending on your location, if it's an offer. So they did drop in price quite significantly. So a few years ago with the first iteration, for example, I think the price was around 3,000 bucks. And since then they have dropped the price a few times. So right now we are at this level of 1,200 to 1,300 euros most of the time. So it is kind of the level the Area Stealth sit at a few years ago. So I really like seeing this approach that they really dropped the price that much. Therefore, I'm curious on how they will perform. Just a little disclaimer, sorry, before we start. This here was sent to me by HiFiMan itself. They didn't influence my opinion in any way, in any point. They didn't also pay me anything or something. So they only asked me for my own honest opinion about them. And that's what I always do on my channel. And therefore, I would say let's get right into it and start unboxing these. All right, here we are with the box. It is not a spectacular box, I must say, but let's give it a look. You have some information about the stealth magnets and the diaphragm. Here's the specifications. So the frequency response, the impedance is 32 ohms, sensitivity is 93 dB, and the weight is 458 grams. All right, so let's look at the back side now. Here it says ergonomic and comfortable headband. Stealth magnet design, nanometer thickness diaphragm, and comfortable earpads. And also the 3.5 millimeter sockets. All right, that's it pretty much. Let's open it up now. Here we go. All right, here are the headphones. All right, let's get them out and give them a good look. All right, here are the headphones. So this time they have a silver finish that is a little bit metallic to the touch. Also the edges here are smooth. It has a lot of cup swivel, the same as Area. The earpads are nice and plushy, and they have a pleather material on the outside, and inside is a fabric material. Here you have the headband. The headband is actually a vegan headband. And here you have the height mechanism, so it's quite clicky. Here you have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks. And yeah, they don't squeak while moving, so all good. They look quite decent and well made. So let's open up the little box here. I guess there will be the cables in here. Yes. So here I have a cable with the 6.3 millimeter jack, and it has the same rubberized texture to it than the previous versions. The cable that can also come with the Area or another. And you have another cable actually here. That seems to be an XLR cable. It, yeah, looks and feels quite decent. Also the rubberized texture, so not a sleeved cable, but it's fine. It also seems to be quite long. Let's give it a look. Yeah, it's a little bit tangly, but I would say it's still okay. Okay, that's it pretty much from the headphones. Alright, so having unboxed these and been testing them for a while, what can I say about them? Let's come to the build and comfort first. I think the build and comfort is quite good. It is quite the same than the HiFiMan Area Stealth, for example. I mean, they look quite alike, they're the same size, and just the colors are of course different. And also here has a little bit of a plastic cup. This one has a metallic touch to it, and also this wooden veneer stripes that you also have on the Aria Organics, for example. This is just a different color here. And otherwise you really have like a metallic build here. So the jokes here are metallic, the headband is metallic. A change I really like seeing here actually is with the headband. So this one is a little bit of a fabric or leather material. I can see this one here holding up much longer than, for example, the one of the Area, because here you have like this pleather material that after a few years will probably start flaking. I mean, you can replace it, of course, but I like this approach that this one here will probably not flake or anything like this, so I like this head strap here a little bit better. Otherwise, this headphone weighs 458 grams, so it's a little bit more than, for example, the Area Stealth. But I have to say, you don't really feel it. So the suspension headband here is doing a good job on distributing the weight. And yeah, the clamp force itself is not that strong, I have to say. It's really comfortable. If you compare it to the Area Stealth, for example, here you have quite a bit more clamp force than the HiFiMan HE1000. But it didn't disturb me at any point. It didn't put any pressure on anything or something. Just be aware that if it's the first time you're using a headphone of this teardrop style, it can be that you need to get used a little bit to it, because since it's that big of a cup, it can press a little bit on the jaw. I think I needed 3 weeks or something to get used to it a little bit, but then I didn't feel it at all anymore, and I can wear this headphone for a very long time, like 8 hours a day, and I do not have any trouble whatsoever with it. So let's come to the ear pads. They are nice and plushy and replaceable. It is, I think, the same kind of ear pads than also the Area Stealth has. At least they look alike and they feel alike. They're a little bit angled, so as you can see. So this headphone actually has like the standard 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks here. I like that they are quite accessible, so they are not inserted in the cup like some Mies audio headphones, for example. So you can use any aftermarket cable that you want to use. The cable itself that comes with it are 2 different cables. So one is an XLR cable and one is an 6.3 millimeter cable. So the cables itself are 3 meter long, and yeah, they have a rubberized texture to it. And I think in earlier times, the first version of this HiFiMan HE1000 came with this catheter style cables that also make a noise when you like squash it. They were not great. I think I had one with the first iteration of the Ananda that I bought a few years ago, and this catheter style cable was horrible. I didn't like it. So I'm happy to see that they have included the better cable here, like with the rubberized texture to it. It's an okay cable, so if you still want to exchange it, it's possible because of the standard 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks here. So that is fine. So in regards to build quality, I only really had one little issue that I also recognized only later. Because here at the cup shivel, there is a little bit of a misalignment in the plastic here. I will put a little picture here. And it doesn't cause any issues. And if you just look at it, you don't really see it. Also, it doesn't make any noise or something. So it doesn't really bother me. But for a headphone that costs over 1,000 euros, I just wished for a little bit of better quality control. I'm sure HiFiMan would replace these quickly and solve the issue. I even did a little test, writing them with a different email address and writing having this issue with a picture on it, and they responded within a day, offering the help. So the support of HiFiMan was good in this regard. They offered their help quickly, and yeah, I'm okay with this. It's just for the price, I really wish they give it a little look if everything is okay. So in regards to drivability, this headphone has an impedance of 32 ohms and a sensitivity of 93 dB per milliwatt. So it is fairly easy to drive, but it does benefit a little bit from better gear. I mean, you can drive these loud enough on your onboard audio or just on a dongle deck, for example. It is fine, but if you take a bit better gear, a bit more capable gear, then you have a slight improvement in the bass area and also a slight improvement in the treble area. All right, so let's come to the sound itself. How did it actually sound? At least to my ears. I think it is having a little bit of a warmer presentation. I will not say it's a warm headphone because it is not. It is still a bright headphone. It is not as bright as, for example, the Aria Stealth, for example, because this one here is very bright and has a little bit of an attack to it that sometimes can be a little bit too much, depending on the track. And if you don't have like a warmer DAC amp or you don't want to use EQ, then this one here can sometimes cross this little edge of being too much. This issue is not with this headphone, at least to my ears. It has a very like smoothed out treble on top. It is still very detailed, very high resolving, and has a very natural tone and timbre, even more than the HiFiMan Aria Stuff, for example, the HiFiMan Aria Organic. The soundstage of it or the music presentation is a little bit more and like a bit more far away. If you compare this to the Aria Stuff, this one is rather intimate, like the sounds are coming quite in your head, but it can also scale quite big if the music wants to, like demands for it. But here you have a little bit of a difference that the music is placed a little bit outside of your head. Very pleasant, so the soundstage is quite big, and also the imaging qualities are very good, pinpoint, accurate, and nicely placed, also and layered. So I also used it in gaming. I didn't have any problems whatsoever. If I would need to like scale this, for example, I would say it's better than the Aria Stuff for sure. Also in regards to the tone and timbre and also the treble. It is very pleasant. I really enjoyed it. So because it's just my opinion, my ears hearing this headphone, I thought about a way to bring it a bit closer to you. So I bought binaural microphones from Soundman, you can see here. And with these, I can record how the headphones actually sound like. As close to as possible, at least to me. I mean, give it a little look. Maybe you can hear a little bit of differences between these. Just make sure, please, to use actually headphones while listening to the sound recordings, because otherwise you might not hear or spot the differences that easily. I would say let's get now right to it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
right, so conclusion-wise about this headphone, I would say I personally am very happy with it because I really like that the tone and timbre is a little bit more realistic and upgrade to the HiFiMan Area Stealth, and it has a little bit of a warmish touch to it. It is still quite bright, but it doesn't reach the area of being too much, so it is quite enjoyable. Like, I really like it therefore, and also the bass response, it goes quite deep, it has good impact. So I am very happy with it, and also the sound stage is quite wide and detailed, and the imaging qualities are also good. So in general speaking, I am very happy with this headphone, also for the price that they sit at. If I compare this now to the Area Stealth, of course, the Area Stealth is a great headphone, and also the price it currently sits at $500 to $600 more or less. It is a very good deal, but you can still feel the upgrade here sound-wise. Personally, I think so. Therefore, this one here will probably sit more on my head now than the Area Stealth. When I was testing the Area Stealth against the Organics, I mean, yes, the Organics was a little bit of a better headphone, but not by far. It was just slight changes, and sometimes I still grabbed for an Area Stealth without any worries, and I still enjoyed it quite a lot. But as of right now, I will probably stick to the HiFiMan 1000 Stealth more. I guess that's it pretty much from the short review. I hope you have liked it, and I hope you found it a little bit helpful. And if you did, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button to support me a bit. And I hope to see you again next time. Ciao, ciao!